Oh, baby, we are back for some New York Jets versus Miami Dolphins live from Miami. I'm not in Miami, but the New York Jets are down in Miami, and it's a big day today. I'm rocking the Legacy number 8 jersey. Why are we wearing number 8? Rodgers isn't playing today. Well, according to Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, late last night, watching to the end of the Islander game, they were losing 4-0. They end up coming back and making it a game. They lose 5-3 on an empty net goal, but 3 unanswered in the third. Made it interesting. But as I'm sitting there watching just a sloppy Islander game, scrolling on my phone, notification, Adam Schefter, Aaron Rodgers expected to be cleared to play this week. He's going to do it, but, keyword being but, the Jets have to win to keep their season alive. Win 4-8. That's what I'm rocking today. Win 4-8. That's what we are doing, and some major, major news to kick off the program. Ian Rappaport, source, Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill is inactive today. He tried to go, but it wasn't to be. Devon Achane is active. So Achane and Mostert will be going. No Tyreek Hill for this game against the New York Jets. Honestly, that is really, really, really big news for the New York Jets in this one, as they take on a Miami Dolphins team without potentially the MVP. Aaron Rodgers. I wish Aaron Rodgers was MVP. Tyreek Hill made his case for the MVP this past week as they played the Tennessee Titans and lost. And a majority of the time when he was out, he returned later at the end. But while he was out, Miami Dolphins looked completely different. Sheesh. So here we go. It's a big one today. We're going to drop the link in here. So if you want to join the program and you call in, that is absolutely something that you can do. You can send in any super chats to jump the line. We'll go through comments. But if you would like to call in, I will drop that in. Call in link. Dang, do this. Pop that in there. We could get some call-ins because we had Doug from the couch the last couple of weeks, and he had a bold prediction 2 weeks ago. Did not work. Came on, was like, I'm gonna be steady, gonna be rocking and rolling a not so bold prediction. And then the Jets go out and drop a 30 spot. So we'll see what Doug has to do or wants to do on this one. Mr. McMoney is saying 40 burger incoming. Really? Are we that sure that a 40 burger is coming? We're going to go to our guy. We know he's going to be some bold take is going to be coming. But Doug from an undisclosed location. No couch today, Dougie.
I'm in an undisclosed location. Can't say where. No, I'm just out of town visiting family. So I'm not gonna do a hot take because I'm apparently a week early on my hot takes. So no hot takes.
No hot takes. Yes.
No, because as we know, 2 weeks ago I was a week early on the hot take of 30 points because that just happened last week. So if you think about it, I was just a week early on my hot take.
I love it.
So I think we win today. That's not a hot take.
I'm feeling it.
It's a gut feeling. Especially with Holland being out too, Xavier Howard being out too. That's big too. Their defense isn't good. We saw how bad the Dolphins' offense is without Tyreek Hill the other night. I feel good. I feel good. I feel good.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, right? But I don't want to get ahead of our skis here, but there's just a lot of things lining up for the New York Jets. The offensive line injuries for the Dolphins. No Tyreek Hill. Obviously, their run game is going to be a factor in this one. So I think the key is going to be for the Jets stopping Mostert and Achane here.
The NFL scriptwriters want Rodgers to come back, make the playoffs. So it has to happen. It just has to happen.
I love it. They just win today. It starts today. They got a little bit of help yesterday. The Lions beat the Broncos, which was good. It would have been nice if Minnesota hung on, but
losers
weren't able to.
Losers. That was my end of my Viking fanhood right there. It was a brief period.
Losers. My one day as a Viking fan was not.
Imagine being a Minnesota sports fan. What losers they are. Just can't win anything. The Twins never win. The what's it called? The Wild. They're in a disarray right now and have all those awful contracts that they bought out. And then who cares about basketball? The Timberwolves. Who cares?
Timberwolves, yeah. No, not Not me, but so I know you're out of town, but you're gonna be able to have eyes on this game.
Of course, nothing would stop me from watching a Jets game, except the sudden death. Nothing would stop me from watching a Jets game.
Even then, it's questionable though.
Even then, I'd find a way to watch it.
Any? I know you're not doing bold predictions or hot takes, but what's your feel for this one?
Garrett touchdown today. I would have loved it last week because I would have won me $500, but Garrett touchdown today. Garrett touchdown today.
Okay. Repeat Zach performance or somewhere in the middle? Where are we at with Zach?
I'm thinking like 240 pass yards, and then Brees actually gets a rushing touchdown today. Brees gets a rushing touchdown today. But I expect a good game. Not a crazy game, but a good game.
So I love it. I'm right there with you. I'm thinking 240, one touchdown from Zach. Get to 20 to 23 points. I think they could win this game.
I don't either way. I think the final score, whoever wins, either way, it's 23-17. Win either way. So if the Dolphins win, it's 23-17. If the Jets win, it's 23-17.
Perfect. Sounds good. Hopefully it's on the Jet side. Doug, I appreciate you checking in. As always, enjoy the game today.
You too. Have a good day.
Love it. All right. Let's go to, I love the name here. Look at this. Zach better than Flash Gordon? I love it. Johnny, what's going on, man?
What's going on, dude? Yeah, man. Don't forget it's the question mark though, bro. We don't know if that's the case. There can only be one Flash Gordon who saves the universe as a Jets quarterback.
Yeah. That's true. And hopefully we get to that point, right?
Dude, I'm trying my best to be like, but the inner Jet me is like, man, playoffs, it might happen. But then the reality of it all, I'm like, we're going to get our asses whooped by the Dolphins today, dude. I just got this feeling, man, it's just going to be a shitstorm because we're all hyping it all up and everything is being put into like, hey, we're playoffs, Aaron Rodgers is happening. And then we're going to go back on Monday and talk about, well, who's the top 5 in the draft that we could go ahead and pick and see, it's just.
No, I hear you on that one. It's a wild range of emotions, right? Like before the game against the Texans, I think everyone was pretty much like, all right, maybe they win another game or two the rest of the way. Great offensive performance. And now this, to me, if this team can't get motivated with the Aaron Rodgers story, I just like, if not now, when, I guess is my rebuttal to your fears, but I get that.
Dude, and then Zach Wilson, bro. Zach Wilson is the toxic Long Island girl, right? That she is not good for you. But she gives you that one taste, right? And you're like, it's okay. She'll be okay. She'll be better next week. She'll make sure she does this for me and all that. And it sucks, dude. I mean, that's what I keep telling people. But hey, maybe a Christmas miracle. Maybe it happens and we see Aaron Rodgers against the Commanders. I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
So huge Commanders town, dude. So I would love nothing but to beat the brakes off of them and, give crap to my best friend who's a big Commanders fan and everything like that as well. So Winter Jack's on deck, dude. I stockpiled on Winter Jack, man. That damn thing is so good, bro. But
it is good. Did you pulled off the mix with the apple cider too?
Apple cider and then the 2 sticks of
the cinnamon
and all that, bro. And the cinnamon is what tops it off.
It's a game changer. I'm telling you, it makes a difference.
It's huge. So my pops, everybody, we always have a Christmas party here in my house, so we get the whole family together and everything. I live on a lake.
Okay,
so, so that's why it's cool to have that drink because it's hot, but it still kind of, gets the job done and everything. So, but yeah, man, that's my take, dude. I mean, Matt, I'm hoping, bro, that we don't lose, but then I'm like, I think we're gonna get our asses whooped today and everything, just because the Dolphins lost last week and they're gonna play with that chip on their shoulder, and everybody's saying now that Tua can't play without Tyreek, which I think is the truth, and he's out. So I don't know, man. I just think everything's stacked against us, bro. To be honest with you, so
hopefully you're wrong, and I know you're hoping it too.
I am. At the end of the day, I'm still a huge Jets fan, bro. So it's still Jets, Jets. Good luck, Matt, and hopefully we're talking on Monday, and we're talking about playoffs, baby. Aaron Rodgers is coming back, or we're gonna be talking about the draft.
Joe Alt time or Marvin Harrison Jr. We'll get right back into that conversation.
I want Marvin, bro. I'd rather have him over. I think that we could pick up some linemen in free agency. But then at the same time, there's a lot of wide receivers that are coming out.
Yep.
That we could pick up, and it'll be a huge upgrade to get that wide receiver too that we need. So, but hey, man, JETS, Jets, let's go.
Love it. Enjoy the game, my friend. Love it. Good stuff. Yeah. So I pinned the link, by the way. I saw someone, I believe Kenneth Duffy was asking, how do I call in? There's a pinned link in the chat. You click on that link and you'll be able to call in. Yeah, we got a lot of people in here talking no Tyreek Hill. That's huge today. What's going on, Joe? We got Dan saying same thing. No Tyreek. That's huge. Gregory fan number 1. No Tyreek Hill. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got Ken now. Ken, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's your feel for this game today?
Well, my feel for this game is just to – I apologize. I'm doing house chores while we're chatting.
No, you're good.
So I apologize. But you know what my feel is ultimately is enjoy it. I'm still sitting here rooting for Zach's development. I'm still here, and I know I'm crazy. Call me a truther, but eternal optimism. I'm hoping for him to continue to develop. I would love to see a win. I would love to see a winning culture. But I have no expectations of what is to come. It's just hope, 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 still punting for next season. And guess what? If we get some sort of miracle 2004 Boston Red Sox type run, great.
Yep.
Yeah, but if we don't, fine. Just enjoy it. Hope for the development of the players. I still have this hope that Zach's going to turn into something. Probably not. I'm probably crazy, but it's hope and enjoyment. I'm going to enjoy the Sunday, and I'm not even thinking about the draft because I do trust in Joe Douglas, and I do think that he's a good drafter.
Yeah, I love that too. With on the optimism with Zach, like even I've been critical of Zach Wilson this year, but I'm rooting for him. I want him to do well. I would rather be proven wrong about Zach Wilson and him be good for my favorite team than be right and him not be good. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't it be just the best?
Yeah, what a
to
story.
have that succession planning.
Sure, that would be absolutely fantastic. I hope he goes out there, goes for 300 and 3 or 4 touchdowns this week. Let's
you know what though, and he's a good kid too. He's a good kid. He's easy to root for. So I would love to see it happen. But outside of that, it's just I get that 3-hour stretch every Sunday where I don't have to do anything, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of it.
Yep.
There's my kid, by the way.
Go
Follow me around.
Fan as well, hopefully.
Oh, a future Jet fan. I'm not even sure if she knows what football is yet.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Ken, I hope you enjoy the games today, my friend. You're muted. I couldn't hear you. All right, Ken, I think we lost you. You're muted there at the end, but I appreciate you, Ken, calling in. Hopefully you enjoy the game today. We got another call on the line. We're going to go out to Connor. Connor, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. Love the Jets talk hoodie.
Thank you.
Beautiful. What's your feel for the game today, my friend?
With Hill inactive, I want another great game from Zach. Same game plan, just air it out. I mean, I'm not sure that I want to see Rodgers again this year. Okay. I honestly don't want to see him this year, like with this O-line too, but possibly I can see him maybe QB2 against the Commanders. I don't want to see him start though.
Okay, so you're nervous about the offense, the state of the offensive line and bringing Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I get that. I understand that fear. It hasn't been good this year, and obviously with Rodgers coming off the injury. I will say if he, God forbid, came back in and did get hurt again, there's a long time before he would have to, come in and play again in September. That's the only really saving grace there, I would say.
Yes, I agree too. And at this rate, at best, we're going to get 24 and 25 out of Rodgers, possibly only next season. So I don't want to have him get re-injured and possibly end his career.
No, that's fair. I totally get that. I think it would be a really cool story for him to make the comeback, be the first player to do it. And who knows, maybe they get hot, they win out, they go 9-8 and sneak into a playoff spot. That'd be fun. I
agree. It's like really hard for us to make the playoffs, but there's still a chance.
Yeah, until it's 0%, I'll still be rooting. That next loss probably does it, but I'm hoping they win out and make it interesting. For this game today with no Hill, you said Zach's got to throw? Do you think he has a repeat performance of what he did last week, or what's your feel?
I don't know. Honestly, he's been unpredictable his whole career. I did not predict he was going to do that this last week.
Yeah, that was a big surprise, even for me. Now, I hope he follows it up. That'd be a lot of fun, and I'm rooting for, if they can't win, just keep it a tight game and a fun one. I don't want to see a blowout like it was the last time the Jets and Dolphins played.
I agree.
Love it, Connor. Enjoy the game. Any
you.
final predictions before we go here? Score prediction. What do you got?
I think Jets 21-14.
Love it. Love the optimism, Connor. Enjoy the game, my friend.
Thank you. You too.
Love it. Good stuff from our guy, Connor. Rico the Pup. I love this comment. He goes, amazing that one of the younger fans is smarter than some of these. I've been a fan for 4 decades, guys. Not wrong. Love it when Connor checks in. He's awesome. Let's go to, so Sean was saying Tua predictions without Tyreek. Yeah. So I want to pull up. So I did put in a play for underdog, and it does have something to do with Tua. So if you want to sign up, my link is in the description. But I had, even with Tyreek playing, that Tua was going to throw an interception this week. The Jets picked him off twice. I think Quinnen gets a sack. I put that in as a scorcher, and Zach Wilson over 178.5. That's 10 to win 90. If you want to ride it, you can. You want to put in your own, that's fine. My link's down below. But I'm going to say he definitely is throwing in an interception today, maybe around 60% completion, 200 to 215 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and a fumble. And the Jets win 23-17. I think the run game is going to be the key in this one. As our guy Hennessy Heisen says, stop the run, we win the game. I think that's going to be a really big key, because without Tyreek Hill, Waddle's a great receiver. We know that, but Mostert and A-Chain, I think, are going to have a really big day today. Not in terms of like they're going to put up these gaudy numbers. I'm not predicting like, oh my God, the Jets defense is going to struggle and they're going to go off. I just mean that I think Mike McDaniel is going to put an emphasis on trying to get the run game going. And that's when the Jets defensive line and linebackers need to feast, because I mean, let's face it, the Dolphins are incredibly banged up across the offensive line. They're down multiple starters on the interior. It's going to be tough. Let's pull up. We got a couple questions on the inactive, so we're going to pull up the inactive list. Here's today's inactive. So we're going to have a new starting right tackle in this one. Jason Brownlee's inactive. Carter Warren, Max Mitchell, Marcelino McCray-Ball, Carl Lawson, Bryce Hall, and Brett Rippon is inactive today. So with Carter Warren and Max Mitchell out, you can expect Billy Turner to be the starting right tackle. That's a little nerve-wracking, although I will say credit to Billy Turner. When he had to come in and replace the injured Max Mitchell this past week, he actually played pretty well. So I hope he has another performance like he did against Houston this week against the Miami Dolphins, because credit to him. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. I thought he played a really solid game this past week. I thought it was impressive, the showing that he had for his standards. I mean, I'm not going to say like he played like an all-pro right tackle. No, but was he serviceable? Did he look like this, like just a guy, a fine player? Yeah. He wasn't a big issue. It wasn't like the game against the Chargers where the right side of the line was getting absolutely torched. That was tough to watch. Yeah, Dakota goes, wait, Hill is out against us today? Yep, no Tyreek Hill. So we'll go to the Dolphins inactives. No, Tyreek Hill's the big one, though, obviously. I want to see if they have the full list, if these teams tweeted out. I feel like they usually do. Here we go. They tweeted it out 20 minutes ago. Skylar Thompson as the emergency third string, Javon Holland inactive, Tyreek Hill, Xavier Howard, Robert Hunt, Deshaun Elliott, and JPP. So they will be featuring a new center and a new right guard in this game. I imagine Armstead's playing. That means I'm gonna look to see if anyone tweeted it out. But it seemed like it would be a coin flip if Armstead was going to play. Yeah, okay. Cameron Wolf is reporting. Here we go. Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, and Austin Jackson are all expected to start today despite being questionable per source. So there we go. Teron's going to play, which is a big deal for them because he's a really good left tackle, as we know. But Liam Eichenberg has really struggled in his career. I believe this is his third year in the league. He started out at left tackle, didn't go well, has played left and right guard, didn't go well, is now playing center and going up against Quentin Jefferson, who's had a really nice year for the Jets after, coming over from Seattle. Quentin Williams, we know, has been absolutely stellar this year. JFM rotating in on the inside. Solomon Thomas, who's had a really nice, honestly, a career year for Solomon Thomas. Probably his best year since he's come into the league. This is a game for the Jets interior to get home. I know, Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, all those guys have gotten a lot of credit, and deservedly so, right? Because they've been really good on the edge. But I think this is an interior defensive line game from the Jets. And, if they're getting pressure, hopefully that clogs up some of the run game and makes it harder there. Rico says, I don't wish injury on anyone, but nice to see how other teams fare when key pieces are out and you have to play guys from the practice squad or grab them off the street. I'm with you, Rico. It's not necessarily the rooting for injuries thing. The Jets could never get healthy. They are always dealing with catastrophic injuries the last few years. And I wish that wasn't the case. I hate across the league how many quarterbacks, there's another week where Jalen Hurts might not play. They might have to go to Marcus Mariota. We know that CJ Stroud's not playing and they got to go to Case Keenum. That's just really unfortunate. It shouldn't have to be that way. I would love to see the young stars and really just everyone stay healthy, not just the quarterbacks, but it's a major loss today for them. Fears Grim says still worried about Devon Achane. Yeah, as you should. He's a incredible young running back, really explosive runner, and is going to be tough. Is going to be a really tough matchup. Nick, what's going on, man? Says Matt, been playing with the playoff predictions all week. Am I crazy? I just want something to believe in. Give me A-Rod for Christmas Eve. Let's effing go. No, I don't think it's crazy at all, to be honest with you. I think when you look at it, that's absolutely something that you want to try to remain positive on. And if they win today, it becomes a little bit more realistic there. We got another caller on the line. We're going to go out to Jake. Jake, what's going on, my man? How are you?
Good. How are you, Matt? I called in maybe five weeks ago or whatever. Okay. And I started swearing up a storm, so I want to say sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Once again, I just want to call in, give good energy. I know a lot of Jets fans. Sorry, I'm walking to work. I know a lot of Jets fans are, they're pretty much giving up on the season. And being a diehard my whole life, I'm sick and tired of thinking that way. I just want to see the Jets just play good football the rest of the season, whether that's with Aaron Rodgers coming back or it's Zach. But I just want to see good football. I don't win or lose, I'm happy. I don't even know. I just want to see good football again. And I think that I don't know. No, I'm just rambling. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel?
Yeah, you don't want
tough.
You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but at the same time, this is a team where if they just remain competitive today and win this game, you never know. You have a chance to keep your season alive, and maybe you do have that dream of Aaron Rodgers coming back to play at some point this year.
Man, would that be a great Christmas gift, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right. No, absolutely. But yeah, for this one, I know you're walking to work, but any takes on this game today? You think any key matchup?
Just a quick question: is Tyreek playing?
No, Tyreek Hill is out, officially out.
We're winning this game, baby.
I love it. I think so too.
I think we got this game. Sorry to cut you off. I think we got this game 24-17.
Okay, I like that. I'm in a similar boat. I think I don't remember what I did in my preview, but somewhere around 20-13, 24.
That's fair.
Somewhere in that range. I think if the Jets keep them under 20, they should win the game.
Yeah, we got Sauce, we got DJ. Come on, baby, stop playing.
I love it.
Stop
Jake
playing.
try to enjoy work today while the game's on. But I appreciate
I'll
you checking
try.
in with us and your
Have a good one, Matt.
energy. All right. Shout out Jake for checking in with us. We got the first super chat. Let's go over to Jacob Bradshaw. Jacob, I appreciate your support. Says, I can't believe the Rodgers news. I truly don't know how to feel about it. Obviously, I'd much prefer we were 8-5 at this point, but I can't help but still be excited. Love the content. Jacob, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. And you should be excited about it. I got so many comments after I tweeted like Aaron Rodgers, win and get Aaron Rodgers back is, this is a PR move. They're just trying to positive spin it. They're going to lose anyway. And, maybe they do. It's the NFL. One, anything could happen. Two, they are big underdogs in this game. But also at the same time, I don't know, football's supposed to be fun. Can we try to take a positive storyline instead of just trying to be completely negative all the time? And I get it. As a Jet fan, this team isn't one that has success all the time and has given you a lot of things to be disappointed about. But we were all so excited to watch Aaron Rodgers play for this team before the season. That got taken away after 4 plays. A chance to see him play again for this team. That's why I'm rocking the 8 jersey today. I love it. Jacob, thank you again for your support. I would love to be 8-5 as well, but right now they are 5-8, and a win today could potentially keep their season alive. Illegally Beast Mode says, I use Richie's sleeper code. Payout is 1K. Ooh, hopefully that wins for you. I haven't gotten in on the sleeper stuff yet, but I've been rocking with Underdog Fantasy this year. I've been working with them, but it's honestly been such a blast. These are my picks with Underdog today. $10 to win 90. Just it's a plus 900 parlay. I'm not throwing a ton of money on it, but Zach Wilson higher than 178.5 passing yards. I think he goes somewhere around 220 to 240. Tyreek Hill to throw an interception. I think the Jets defense gets home, and Quinnen Williams to record a sack. I think this is a really good matchup for Quinnen Williams to have a good day. And plus, also, if you remember, the last time these two teams played and the Jets lost, the Dolphins were mimicking Quinnen Williams' sack dance. They were doing the dance. They were going like this. You don't think he remembers that? The Jets remembered from a couple years ago what the Eagles did to them, where they were, celebrating and really were disrespectful to the Jets, they thought, and CJ Mosley took it personally, and they remembered it, and they came up and pulled a massive upset. So bulletin board material, the chance for Aaron Rodgers to come back and play this year. I think it's absolutely something that you're going to have to keep an eye out for this one. Sorry to arrive late, but did you discuss which new O-line combination we got today? I would guess Newman and Turner on the right side. Yes, that is most likely going to be the case. Newman was elevated yesterday, so that makes me assume he is going to be playing right guard. Max Mitchell and Carter Warren are out, so Billy Turner is a fair guess for who is going to be the one to be playing. Although, is Dwayne Brown out? No. Okay, well, hold on. Actually, let's pull this tweet up. We got Rosenblatt saying Hansen at right guard, Billy Turner at right tackle today. So I was mistaken. I guess maybe not Xavier Newman. Maybe they're going to go back to Hansen, as that's what Rosenblatt of The Athletic is reporting. They have had a rotating cast of characters on this right side of the line. No Dwayne Brown. Still no Dwayne Brown in this one. I want to see, where is Hughes? Is Connor Hughes with the Jets or the Giants today? He hasn't really tweeted anything out. Nick Faria's quickly becoming one of my favorite guys on the beat. See if he has anything for today. He tweeted out the inactives, but as of now, it's expected on the right side of the line for it to be Jake Hansen at right guard and Billy Turner at right tackle. We'll see how that does. Not crazy confident. London says, be Lightning, 200 yards today. That'd be fantastic. He's had a really tough day, or tough, excuse me. He's had a really tough go on the ground recently. With a rotating cast of characters on the offensive line, they've struggled to really get a big push going. So that's definitely a big part of the reason why. I would just love to see him have a huge game. He had, what was it last week? Like 80 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. Here, let's share this tab instead. Pull this up. All right, here's the game logs for Breece Hall. He had 40 yards, so it was at 4.0 yards per attempt. He's pretty much, since this Eagles game, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight games where he hasn't really been that guy from what we saw earlier in the year. Like, he had a great game against Buffalo, great game against Denver and Kansas City, but hasn't looked the same as a rusher. As a receiver, has been incredible. Against the Giants, had a big game. Against Buffalo, had a big game. And also, you can't forget the big one against Houston. 8 catches for 86 yards. I hope they just continue to pepper Breece and Garrett Wilson with targets. Rich says Newman, that guy from Seinfeld. Newman. It feels that way. Mr. McMoney says Noodle Arm about to get exposed. Yeah, do we think Brandon Echols has another pick six in him? He got Tua twice on a pick six. I think I predicted Tua to get an interception this week. I think it's going to be Michael Carter in the slot. I think he is the one who picks him off this week. I would love for it to be Sauce. Still, Sauce Gardner does not have an interception yet on the year. That doesn't mean that he is bad, but he has not gotten an interception yet. Zachary Burner comes in. What's up, Zachary? Should Greg the Leg be an all-pro this year? I think Greg has been awesome. I'm trying to think if there was any other guys who could potentially be all-pros at the kicking position. Dallas's kicker's been incredible this year, but Greg the Leg has, even if he doesn't go to the Pro Bowl or isn't an all-pro, he's been stellar for the New York Jets this year. Their special teams unit, both punter and Thomas Morstead and the kicker and Greg Zerloin have been awesome. And Justin Hardy, since coming back, has been a big addition because they really missed him when he was out. Aaron Rodgers is in here. Why did we sign Roger Saffold if he was in no way, shape, or form going to see the field? What happened to him? And then follows it up with reports that he was too small or skinny when they signed him. Yeah, he had to bulk up and get into playing shape. But I put that in the same category as the Trevor Siemian signing, where it was kind of like a signing made to appease the fans, but they didn't really have any plan on playing either one of those guys, which, look, I'm not saying that Trevor Siemian is some stud. He's not, clearly, with the little amount that we saw him this year. It didn't look good. But I don't know how he wasn't QB2 over Boyle. Like, Boyle is not a rosterable NFL quarterback. I said that from, I don't even know, April on when they signed him. That was weird. And then Saffold, yeah, I don't think we're going to see Roger Saffold. It felt like one that was just made to be like, yeah, we're at trade deadline. We're not going to trade for anybody, but don't worry, we'll sign a Roger Saffold. Let's give Johnny some ice cream today. Johnny Ice Cream, we need him back, bulking up a little bit. It was a while in going from times where he had the ice cream to when he didn't have the ice cream. So got to get him back on the ice cream train. Second week in a row. Fears Grim is saying, I think they're saving Saffold for Rodgers' return. Maybe that's the case. We haven't really heard anything. I feel like the beat hasn't really asked him a lot about it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. This tweet from NYJ Mike made me laugh. I gotta share the screen again. Did Roger Saffold and Dwayne Brown execute a double blank together? LOL. Meaning they can't get on the field, but it's funny because we just talked about Saffold and Dwayne Brown, but they're starting Jake Hansen and Billy Turner today. Those are the two ones that are going. Beast Mode says, I think Ashton gets the pick today. I mean, credit to Ashton Davis. All he's done is make plays pretty much ever since he, when for all of his flaws, which early on in his career, tackling and pursuit angles were something that were way, way, way off for him. But he's a great athlete, so would make some big plays. This year, his mistakes are not nearly as glaring, and he's made significantly more big plays. He's made pretty much anytime he's on the field, he's making a big play right now. He had the safety, a couple weeks ago. That was stellar. He's always around the ball. Not a bad guess. How many pick sixes has MC2 had taken away from him due to penalty? At least 2. It feels that way, doesn't it? I mean, the big one that stands out is the Patriots game from last year, where that was the turning point in the game. It felt like that was, the Jets were going to go down and score, and then they didn't, which again was really, really frustrating. JFM got crushed on that one. It was not a roughing the passer. They called roughing the passer, completely changed the game and completely changed the season. The New York Jets just tweeted out a photo. Want to pull that up with the caption, "Let it rip" too. Zach Wilson out in shorts, throwing the football around. Let it rip has been the mindset for Zach Wilson, at least going into last week. That's what all the coaches said. Nathaniel Hackett said it. You also had Robert Saleh say it. And I think that's what he's going to have to do today in order for the Jets to have success. Because when you look at Vic Fangio, normally what he likes to do is send heat after the quarterback or try to come down and stop the run. They are a team, and his defenses are susceptible to big plays over the top. So that means that Zach Wilson is going to have opportunities to push the ball down the field. I hope that he does it. I hope he isn't just, playing scared. Now pressure's back on him. They had a big win, trying to keep the season alive for Aaron Rodgers. There's more pressure on him. I don't want him to revert back to, I'm going to hold on to the ball for an eternity behind a bad offensive line, take sacks, check it down, be late on the check down, like all those things. I want him to play aggressive and with that mindset that he played against Houston. That was the best we've seen him since he's been a pro. Since leaving BYU, that was the best all-around game we've seen from him. He's also had games against, Tampa Bay his rookie year, Tennessee his rookie year, Kansas City earlier in the season this year. His first ever game against Carolina, he was aggressive and pushing the ball down the field and made some big plays. Unfortunately, throughout his career, of all those games I just listed off, he hasn't been able to follow them up with the same success. As I said, week 1, he had 2 his first ever game with the Jets, had 2 touchdowns, was pushing the ball down the field. Next week, 4 interception game against the Patriots. All right, Tampa Bay, week 17, they end up losing, but he played a stellar game. Following week up in Buffalo, I think he threw for 87 yards in that game and completed 35% of his passes. Granted, like that was just a terrible, terrible circumstance game, but the numbers were also just, they were bad. Last year, his best game was probably against the Dolphins. And then they followed that up with the game against the Packers, where he didn't really have that big of a performance. Also last year, he had the game against the Lions where he went for 300 yards and a couple touchdowns. Then the game against Jacksonville where he get benched. This year, Kansas City, game where he was stellar. Then against Denver where they won the game, but he wasn't phenomenal. He was okay in that game. And now this time, great game against Houston. What are you going to do this time around, Zach? That's really the question. And hopefully he continues to rip it. That's my hope. I think the Jets and Zach Wilson are at their best when they are playing aggressive. You can't be all gas, no break, right? And then just go into this shell on the offense. They play that way defensively, but let's see. London says, love my Jets life, Jet life. 57 pick today, 56 Pro Bowl season linebacker. Great season. Just ordered my Breece Hall jersey. Jet win. Nice. I got a Breece Hall jersey before the season started. I did the promo that Jet X Factor had, where I believe it was one of the sports books. I forget which one. Had a jersey sign up And that's where I got it from before the season. That was clutch. Oh, good. It's supposed to be hot today. Do we see the headband? I don't. He's not wearing one in warm-ups. Not that I would. Would he wear one in warm-ups? I think he's decided to ditch it. Let's see. Miami weather. It's 76 right now. And mostly sunny. The rain has stopped. It's going to be in the mid 70s and mostly sunny. Windy, though, 18-mile-an-hour winds, up to 19-mile-an-hour winds at the high. So it's going to be a very windy day. I would imagine probably no headband. Hot takes. Opening drive touchdown for once, a G-dub for deep ball TD, and 2 picks on Tua. I like all of those. One, Garrett Wilson needs to get in the end zone. That is something that we need desperately need to see. Opening drive touchdowns is something that the Jets never do. Ironically, so a big difference. Adam Gase and our guy Nathaniel Hackett have been compared a lot because of the success that Nathaniel Hackett had with Aaron Rodgers and then the lack of success without Aaron Rodgers. And for Adam Gase, the success that he had with Peyton Manning and the lack of success without Peyton Manning. A big difference, and I can't stand Adam Gase, but a big difference between Adam Gase and Nathaniel Hackett is Adam Gase was stellar at designing opening scripts. The Jets there was a stretch in that really bad 2020 year where they would go down the field, score on their first drive, and then do absolutely nothing the rest of the way. Absolutely nothing. When it came to making adjustments and in-game feel, Adam Gase was terrible. But at coming up with an opening script to a first drive, he was great. Deep ball touchdown. We talked about earlier why the deep ball would be important for this one. And then the last note on 2 picks on Tua, they picked him twice the first go around. There's no reason they can't do it again. That'd be huge. Rich chimes in and says 31-17 Green, back-to-back weeks scoring 30-plus points. I'm not at that point. I think 23 is where the Jets go. I think 23 is going to be the number. 23-17, I'll say. If the Jets can keep the Dolphins under 20, they should, keyword being should, win. Not a guarantee, but they should. Rich says hit the like button. Yes, if you could drop a like before we go, we'll be probably hopping out of here right around 12:30. Green Bean will be streaming live on his channel. I'll be on there at halftime with Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Jeremy from Jets Chaos is always on there with him, but make sure to check out his stream. I'll be there at the half. They'll be getting started shortly, and I'll be handing it off to them at that point. As Dakota says, milk thumbs. Did you drop the milk thumbs, baby? Boom, 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 boom. Arnie says 26-17 Jets. 26. That's an interesting score. It's obviously possible, but 26-17. That's the key. Keep them under 20. I think if you keep them under 20, they should win the game. James chimes in. He says, with Tyreek Hill out, doesn't this put the Jets in a prime position to win? Yes. You can't tell me Tua will beat us only by throwing to Waddle and relying on the run game. Jets win. James, I think you are right. And when you look at what this offense being Miami's, what the offense looked like without Tyreek Hill, huge difference. It was a huge difference with, the variance that we saw with these two guys. Not even remotely close to the same level. And, his first 2 years, Tua was okay. He wasn't horrible. He wasn't great. He got benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick one year. But Tyreek Hill changed everything. And Mike McDaniel is a big part of that too. But it's a very, very, very different offense. Very different offense. Dakota, 6-8 today, then 7-8. Our last home game against the terrible Washington R-words. Can't wait for the Christmas Eve game. Yeah. I hope that's the case. And then if you're at 7-8, you got a short week. going up against the Cleveland Browns on the road. Joe Flacco will be starting that one. Maybe it'll be Joe Flacco against Aaron Rodgers or Joe Flacco against Zach Wilson. What a storyline that would be against his former team. And then final week of the year up in New England, which will be more than likely, according to reports, more than likely, Bill Belichick's last game coaching the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick screwed over the Jets when he handed in his resignation as Jets head coach on a napkin where he wrote, "I resign as Jets HC." And then for 23 years, tortured the New York Jets fan base with Tom Brady and just win after win after win after win. Jets haven't beaten them since 2015. Sending them home, sending Bill Belichick away with a dominant loss, with a big time loss against the New York Jets for his last memory as a New England Patriot, that would be kind of sweet. That would be really sweet. Sign me the hell up for that. I don't care about draft positioning at that point. Oreo says, yo, Matt, happy holidays to you and your family. Same to you. Hypothetically, if the Jets win out and Miami lose out, and so does Buffalo, we all have the same record. Can the Jets win the division? Is it still possible? Now, the issue is Miami and Buffalo play each other in the final week of the season. So they can't both lose out. One of them is going to have to win that game unless they tied, but the chances of that happening incredibly slim. Here, let's pull up, share this tab instead. Let's do this. So I'm going to scroll this thing down. This is a look at the AFC East right now. Miami's final 4 games are as followed. They have the Jets, they have the Cowboys, they have the Ravens, and then they have the Buffalo Bills in the final week. The Bills have the Cowboys this week. They close out their season in Miami, but forgive me, I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe we switch it to playoff picture. Who do the Bills have in the 2 weeks in between? That I don't remember. Forgive me. They got Chargers and New England. So this is the Bills' final schedule. Cowboys this week, tough game as we know. Chargers, New England, Dolphins. Now, what if the Bills won out and ended up going 11-6 or 10-7? We'll say. We'll give them a. So if they go 10-7 and win the division, can the Jets go 9-8 and jump Miami? I guess that then becomes the question. I think possibly, but it's gonna be real tough. No, last time we won in New England, Mark Sanchez was their quarterback. Yeah, last time they won in New England. Is that true? I guess so, right? When was that, the playoffs? And was the last time the Jets won up in New England the playoffs in the 2010 season? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Obviously, they haven't done it since 2015. 2014, I don't believe they did. 2013, they split with them but won at home. 2012, I don't believe they did. 2011, they lost both times then. So I guess it was 2010 playoffs. They did win in 2015, as John is saying in here, but the one in New England, they didn't win in New England in 2015 or 16. Who's our O-line, AB is asking. Let's do that run right now. Rosenblatt tweeted it out. So, apologies, wrong tab. The right side of the line is going to be Jake Hansen at right guard, Billy Turner at right tackle. That means you'll get Joe Tippmann at center. Left tackle, Mekhi Becton. Left guard will be Laken Tomlinson. So from left to right, you're looking at Becton, Tomlinson, Tippmann, Hansen, Billy Turner. Dakota says, can we go 9-8? We can. Can Zach continue to play at a high level is the only question. That is really the biggest key. We know what the defense is. The defense is incredible against the pass. They're fine against the run. I know some of the numbers against the run aren't fantastic, but overall, the defense is great. The special teams is great. And the offense needs some work. It's truly remarkable when you look at DVOA, which is an interesting tool, I think, anyway, that takes into account like starting field position. And it's obviously rankings, right? For who has the best and worst defenses and offenses and special teams and all that. So if we pull it up, the Jets have the third best defensive DVOA. They have the 32nd offense and the third special team. So they are top 3 on defense and top 3 on special teams, but literally have the worst offense in the NFL. If they were even something that was bad, like 25th is still really bad. They probably have 2 more wins right now. If they're the 25th best offense, they probably beat, we'll say, the Raiders or we'll say Raiders or New England and Falcons. So you're 7-6 instead of 5-8, something like that. It's really remarkable. Big Ample says, I'm here in Fort Lauderdale. No rain, windy. Yeah, that's what I saw on the weather forecast, the hourly forecast. It's saying between 1 o'clock, 77 degrees, 18 mile an hour winds, between the low 74 at 4 p.m. So between 74 and 77, so mid 70s, partly cloudy to mostly sunny. So a little cloud coverage, but winds 18, 19 mile an hour winds. So almost 20 mile an hour winds. That's going to play a factor in it. And I would imagine punts and special teams. So maybe special teams turnover, a muffed punt, Braxton Berrios muffed punt, and the Jets recover. How about something like that? Oreo says, do you believe we get another Zach masterful performance? What are you leaning towards? Good performance or Zach turning back to Zach? Don't be optimistic. We can win today and get blown out by Washington. It's certainly possible. Washington feels like a team that has completely mailed it in, and that defense is absolutely atrocious. If Zach Wilson played against Washington and they don't go back to Aaron Rodgers, even with Zach Wilson at the helm, I think they could score upper 20s in points, which is a big ask for this offense, but still. I think Zach probably goes around 62% completion percentage, around 215 to 225 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and a fumble. Mr. Fanatic says, ass whooping incoming. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, Mr. Fanatic, how nervous are you with Tyreek Hill out? And how nervous are you with the Miami Dolphins' historic December struggles and a brutal 4-game stretch to close the season? I'd be nervous. Antonio says, not sure how much of Hard Rock Stadium's awning blocks the wind. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Like when you look at the Meadowlands or now MetLife Stadium, that is a stadium that is notoriously very, very windy and hard to play in. Northeast Stadium, Pittsburgh's another one. Cleveland, a lot of these teams in the Northeast, they have the wind off the river or like just whatever plays a major, major factor. Miami, you don't normally think of it unless it's hurricane season, but we'll see how it plays a factor in this one. Sean says, I think if we go 9-8, I think other teams like the Texans, Broncos, Steelers, Colts, etc. will also go 9-8. How do they decide who is in and who misses the playoffs? So first is head to head. So that's bad or good rather, for the Jets with the Texans and the Broncos. The next thing they do is common games. So your record against teams that you both played. Conference record matters, which the Jets' conference record isn't great right now. They are 1-3 in the division, 3-6 in the conference, which is bad. But a win today, they'd have to win 4 more, right? They'd have to win out. So they would end 6-6 in the conference if they won all their remaining games. Where you have here, why don't I flip the tab? Sorry, I'm going to minimize you just so we get a bigger look at this. But I'm looking at this column, conference record. Jets would be 6-6 at this point, fighting with teams who are like Cleveland has a really good conference record at 6-3. The Bengals, not so much at 3-6. That might come into play. That's a good thing. The Steelers are kind of falling out of it right now. They have really struggled, but Indy's been good in the conference. The Texans have been okay. Denver 4-5, Raiders 4-5. They're still technically alive. It's going to be tough. Where's Miami's defense in DVOA? Great question. Let's flip back to this tab. Miami's defense is 11th. They are the number 2 offense, 11 defense, 22 in special teams. You had to throw the fumble in there. Also, TD Finstock and that fan base are going to cry. This win is invalid because they didn't have Tyreek Hill. Don't care. A win is a win. Well, the Jets haven't had Aaron Rodgers for literally the entire season, so I don't want to hear that. I really don't. And yeah, I do. Unfortunately, he's lost a ton of. I think it's 6 fumbles Zach Wilson has lost this year. That's an insane number. Absolutely insane number. Mike D, what's going on, Mike D? He says, "What's up, Matt? Feeling kind of positive today." Me too. It's a weird feeling, but it's one that is absolutely there. Dakota says, Miami fans stay naive, win a playoff game for the first time in 23 years, brag about how special to great you chokers are. That is something that even if the Jets miss out on the playoffs, you have to root for that streak still staying alive, because at least since I've been watching football, I've watched football since 2003. I have never seen a Miami Dolphins playoff win. I have seen the Jets win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 playoff games in my Jets fandom, right? You had the 1 in 2004, you had the 2 in 2009, and the 2 in 2010. Dolphins, they made the playoffs in 2008, lost. 16, lost. Last year, lost. That's a shame. TD's reaction, his reactions are all time. Him hiding behind the chair in the loss this past week was a 10 out of 10. So not Jets related, but I just found this interesting that I wanted to pop up on the screen for a second. So the Eagles have made a change to their defensive process. DC, Sean Desai is in the coaching box, and Matt Patricia will call in plays to the green dot. Matt Patricia. Forgot about Matt Patricia. I didn't realize he was with the Eagles. To being completely honest with you, did not realize he was with the Eagles. Dakota says, sick of both Buffalo fans and sick of Miami fans staying blind to their playoff win drought like they don't know at all. Buffalo, at least they won at least a handful of playoff games. I think they won 1 under Josh Allen, right? It was a couple of years. Well, they won last year in the first round, but let's see. Can it give me playoff performances? Snap counts. No, where the hell is? Oh, I got to switch. I forgot that it's tabulated this way. In 2020, they went to the conference championship game. That's right. In 2021, they played 2, so they won 1 and lost in the divisional round in 21, lost in the divisional round in 22. 2020, they won a couple. That was probably 2020 was probably Buffalo's year, if we're being honest. All right. I think that's where we're going to leave it, guys. Green Bean will be getting started shortly over on his channel if he's not already. He started up in a couple minutes, so make sure to head over to that channel. I will be on at halftime with Ryan. I am excited for it. Jets pulling off an upset win down in Miami. Count me in for that. That'll do it. I'm Matt O'Leary. Catch you next time. Go Jets, baby.